Everything in this case is online. The beef, the crime, and even the interviews. Because guess what? If it doesn't happen online, it doesn't really happen at all, right? These guys are so stupid. And I don't mean to call them stupid, but I mean to call them stupid.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts, where we talk about murder, mayhem, and all the things in between. Today we're reacting to Yella Beezy, and I'm reacting to it with my pearl handle pistol cufflinks, so graciously gifted to me by our former content genius that we knew as Michael Rivers, God rest his soul. But before we get to Yella Beezy, which is on the hook for capital murder, wow, capital murder. Well, I'm sure he's innocent, right? Well, let's see. A lot of self-snitching going on here. But before we get to that, this is brought to you by our sponsor. I'd like to thank our sponsor, AskALawyer.com. AskALawyer.com is a very good way. If you've got a legal question, could you ask your grandma who's living in your basement? No, you know why? Because grandma is pretty cranky because she doesn't get out of her basement, and that makes her mad. And, you know, we change her sheets once every 3 to 4 months, and it gets a little funky down there. So she wants to get out of the basement. I'm just kidding. I don't mistreat my grandma. I love my grandma. You know, we give her all the Cheetos she wants, and that's why she has her Cheeto stained underwear. But sometimes she has a question, and she wants to ask a lawyer. And I'm a lawyer, but I don't think she wants to hear what I have to say, so she goes to AskALawyer.com. AskALawyer.com is a very cheap and inexpensive way for you to get a question answered by a real lawyer. They have them standing by, and they also have AI component to it. So if you have a question about a law, you know, does this apply to me? Go to AskALawyer.com. So, and they are also part of the group that has e-forms and e-signs. So give them some love. All right, Yella Beezy. Yella Beezy. What are you, Yella? Whose real name is Marquise Conway. Was recently arrested and charged with capital murder in connection with the 2020 death of a fellow Dallas rapper, Mo3, a.k.a. Melvin Noble. The arrest came in March 18th, so just not that long ago, for allegedly orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot. Authorities claim he hired a hitman, Keywan White. Sounds like Keywan White. That sounds like Hitman's name, doesn't it? To kill Mo3, who was fatally shot on November 11, 2020 on I-35 in Dallas. Now, here's the thing. You would think, oh, 2020, that was 5 years ago. What's the statute of limitations? There is no statute of limitations on murder. Everything in this case is online. The beef, the crime, and even the interviews. Because guess what? If it doesn't happen online, it doesn't really happen at all, right? These guys are so stupid. And I don't mean to call them stupid, but I mean to call them stupid. Because they put everything online. You know, remember Pooh Shiesty and all that kind of crap? That was all online. I mean, give me a break. So why was there a murder for hire plot to begin with? We don't know. It is just he said, she said, well, he said. And it's just a stupid little beef. So let's just see what this is a video from Rap Daily on YouTube. And so we'll give you a little bit of shout. Give them some love at Rap Daily. And this will give you some kind of background.
These long-standing feud. Yella Beezy and Mo3 were both rising stars out of Dallas, but they came from different sides of the city and moved in different circles. Yella Beezy grew up in Oak Cliff, while Mo3 was from North Dallas. Beezy kicked off his music career by dropping...
Can I just ask you, why isn't the world big enough for everybody? Why do you have to ruin your own life and other people's lives? I mean, why can't you just go do your thing and live in love?
Dropping mixtapes on SoundCloud, but his real breakthrough came in 2017 with Lightwork, Vol Receipt 2, featuring the hit single That's On Me. The track climbed to number 25 on Billboard's Hot R&B/Hip-Hop Songs chart, and a star was born. By 2018, a remix featuring 2 Chainz, T.I., Boozy Badazz, Rich the Kid, Jeezy, and Trapboy Freddy put Beezy's name on the map in a major way. From there, he collaborated with hip-hop heavyweights like Chris.
So you've got a body of work. You're doing well.
Chris Brown and Young Thug, and even opened for Beyonce and Jay-Z. Mo3, on the other hand, had a different come-up. He attended Berkner High School in Richardson and dropped his debut mixtape, Shataz, in 2014. 2 years later, Shataz Reloaded caught the attention of Baton Rouge rap icon Boozy Badass. Their connection grew stronger over time, leading to a joint album in 2020 featuring a remix of Mo3's hit single Everybody, which peaked at number 136 on the Billboard 200. According to his obituary, Mo3 knew he had made it when he was filming the music video for Broken Love with Louisiana rapper Kevin Gates. The track quickly trended at number 8 on the top 10 chart, solidifying his rising fame. His obituary highlighted the impact he had. He traveled all over the world, blessed his fans, touched lives, inspired kids, made a difference, and made people just want to be better, all through.
So why did he die? Why was there a murder for hire plot against him? Was he that bad a dude?
Through his music. Mo3 was just 28 when he was tragically killed in 2020. He left behind 3 children, daughters Malaysia and Malia Noble and son Tremonia Noble. But Mo3's and Beezy's careers weren't just about music. They were caught up in a long-standing rivalry within the Dallas rap scene. Both artists competed for recognition, and tension simmered over time. According to Hype Fresh, part of their beef stemmed from a dispute over who truly represented Oak Cliff. They exchanged.
Who gives a fuck who truly represented Oak Cliff? I mean, honestly, who cares?
Diss tracks and took shots at each other on social media, though they publicly downplayed any real animosity. But one major turning point was when Roy Lee Pate, a Dallas-based comedian and Mo3's friend, was shot in North Dallas in 2017 after questioning Beezy's Oak Cliff ties. You see, back in 2017, comedian Roy Lee Pate, aka Roy Lee, started taking shots at Yella Beezy, calling him out for claiming Oak Cliff when, according to Roy, Beezy actually went to school elsewhere. Lee was fired up, even challenging Beezy to a fight in one of his videos.
Why? I mean, I want to fight you because you're not from Oak Cliff? I mean...
Fast forward to October 2018, and things took a dark turn. Roy Lee was shot in the leg, and while he initially survived, he passed away 2 weeks later on October 13th due to a blood clot. Then, just hours later, early on October 14th, Beezy was ambushed while driving on the Sam Rayburn Tollway.
Oh, I see. Now it's getting serious.
Taking 8 bullets but managing to survive. Some felt it had to be Mo3. Naturally, the internet ran wild with conspiracy theories linking the two events. YouTube and social media are packed with deep dive videos trying to connect the dots.
If somebody tries to kill you and time passes, you don't have the right to try to kill them because that's revenge. You know, it's not self-defense at that point because there's a break in the chain.
But let's just say that rabbit hole runs deep. Mo3, however, wasn't just speculating. He made it clear in his music where he stood. During a time that would have been Roy Lee's birthday, Mo3 dropped a diss track aimed at Beezy, making it obvious he believed Beezy.
I'm going to just tell you something for all you fellas out there. These diss tracks have got to fucking stop. Because all they do is, especially when it comes to gang shit, all it does is fuel animosity, hatred, and you guys are killing each other for nothing. For literally fucking nothing. And then guess what? Then a murder happens on one side. Then a murder happens on the other side. Then it is about something. And then it's a war.
Had some role in Roy Lee's death. He didn't hold back either, throwing in lines about a rapper getting shot on the tollway and questioning rumors of a $10K bounty on his own head, warning that if true, some shooter's going to end up dead. Both sides weren't shy about addressing the situation in their music. Mo3 went all in with his diss track, while Beezy even used footage of himself in the hospital for online videos, turning the situation into part of his promo. At this point, the tension was thick and things were getting real out in Dallas. You could even feel it in their music. Mo3 was never shy about addressing his rivals.
Young men are dying for nothing. For just nothing.
And he used his songs to take direct shots at Beezy. In tracks like 219 and Everybody remix, he accused Beezy of being involved in setting up people close to him. Mo3 had a reputation for rapping about real-life conflicts, and many fans believed his lyrics were more than just entertainment, they were personal. On the other hand, Yella Beezy never fully engaged in a back-and-forth diss war, but he didn't ignore Mo3 either. He took a different approach, often downplaying Mo3's success and throwing subliminal disses instead of naming him outright. In interviews, Beezy would brush off questions about Mo3, acting as if his rival wasn't relevant.
Well, after we did the interview with you, I interviewed Mo3.
Who?
Mo3.
I don't know who that is.
This only
I don't know who that is. Guess what? Yeah, you do. I mean,
fueled the tension, as Mo3 saw it as disrespect. Mo3 had a reputation for being one of the biggest trolls in the Dallas rap scene, and he knew exactly how to push Yella Beezy's buttons. He frequently took to social media to mock Beezy, questioning his street credibility and making it clear that he didn't see him as a real threat. For instance, in a TikTok video, Mo3 discusses controversies involving Yella Beezy and their manager.
How smart is that? You know, there's a lot of taunting going on. You know, that's what these diss tracks are. They're taunts. And they feel like they have to respond, you know.
Rainwater, where he addresses issues related to street credibility and their ongoing disputes. Mo3 often bragged about having more respect in Dallas, claiming he was the one people truly feared and respected in the streets. This wasn't just about music, it was personal. Mo3 made it a habit to expose what he saw as Beezy's weaknesses, whether through Instagram, live, comments, or straight up calling him out in posts. Fans ate it up, with some taking Mo3's side and others arguing that Beezy was just staying out of unnecessary drama.
So that's a little reaction from it gives you kind of background from Rap Daily. They do a really good job, so give them some love. Did Mo3 admit to shooting Beezy? In 2018, Yella Beezy was shot 3 times while he was in his car, and over a dozen rounds were fired. A dozen. But he only was hit 3 times. You'd be surprised at how hard it is actually to hit somebody. And he was hospitalized for 1 day and then released. Fans point to the song Slide 'Em, where it sounds like Mo3 is admitting to the shooting. Let's take just a little peek of this clip.
Y'all by myself, like after the club, because I was finna go home. Like, we were deep at the club, but like just like when I left, I was by myself.
Caught him lacking at the club, I'm in motion, guess what I'm told?
Like, everybody know, like when you leaving the club, you gotta be looking like through your rear view. So when I'm looking down, that's when I guess the car put up beside me and just started.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a club guy. I fucking hate clubs. I've had so many shooting cases that come out of clubs. How many shootings have I had at an Irish pub? None. That's why. So that's why I'd rather hang out at an Irish pub and watch a rugby match.
Letting into the car with it.
All this traffic did them dirty, shots fired, my window open.
Pop, pop, pop. You know, I mean, give me a break.
Like, something just snapped me, like, let me know what was going on. I can just hear, like, see the gunfire just left hand, I think, like, when the bullet hit it, and that one made me, like, swerve. You know what I'm saying? So I swerved and I spun out, and I crashed the car.
Watch that nigga spin around, kept on rolling, I'm on some motion.
It came out my back like.
I mean, here's the thing. When they make a song, a diss track, and all of a sudden you've got things in there that are real life, listen to how he's describing this and compare that to what Mo3 is saying. So here's the thing. When you have things that are happening in public, I remember I tell you there's so many cameras out there. There's cameras everywhere. You can blur it out, can't you?
Now, Your Honor, if I could draw the court's attention, if you look on the, I've stopped this video at 19 seconds. You see a gold sedan in the far left lane and a black sedan in the second lane to the left. The gold sedan will be the vehicle carrying the victim, and the black sedan is the vehicle driven by Q1 White, who is then the shooter, based off of the evidence we have.
So, why would you get out on the freeway? Look at this. Just stupid. Just stupid. I mean, broad daylight. I mean, the crime is on camera, basically. Do they take off? So that's when the crime happens. So we know whose car it is, who's driving the victim's car, and we know the other car. And we know Yella Beezy isn't there, right? And there he is on the side of the road. There he is on the side of the road, you know, getting CPR because he was just shot by somebody. You know, now if somebody shoots at you, you know, taking revenge is, like this, is murder one. And that's why this is capital murder, because it's probably gang related and it's premeditated. So Mo3 died on November 11, 2020, and his presence in the music industry will be missed. Of course it will. A month later, on December 9th, Keywan Detrell White was arrested for the murder. Gee, you weren't smart enough to do this on the sly. You have to do everything, whatever. And so he was charged with a prohibited person in possession of a firearm, 5-year mandatory minimum almost everywhere. At the time of the murder, Keywan was free on bail for a felony charge of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon and evading arrest. It's rumored on social media that he was on probation for shooting his transgender girlfriend. He had a transgender girlfriend? Okay, so let's read that again. At the time of the murder, Keywan was free on bond for a felony charge of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon and evading arrest. It is rumored on social media that he was on probation for the shooting his transgender girlfriend, though this claim is not confirmed. Okay, well, we're not going to spread rumors. Yella Beezy and Trap Boy Freddy reactions. Of course, you know that they went to social media after the murder happened, so let's just see what they say on social media.
That's my niggas smoke right out the jar.
Cap this motherfucking money up till I can't cap no more. That real talk. Pussy ass nigga ain't talking about nothing. I let my M's talk. Ducking in the G5 jet, nigga about to have sex soon next week.
So he's doing a live, and if you look at all the comments, they're all about Mo3.
Lived off. All these op nigga pissed off. Fat pockets on call, wind slow. Nigga, I don't need no
Shit.
Yeah, I'm canceling
Okay, bet. All right, bet. Say no. Say no more. Say less. Say no more. Say less.
You know, one could argue that some of this is self-snitching, especially when you go pop, 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 and you're kind of reacting to the comments about Mo3. So Trap Boy Freddy took his video right after the murder. Traffic is being blocked by first responders. People believe that he was involved. So let's hear what he has to say.
Man, whoever got the motherfucking freeway blocked off need to get y'all shit together, dog. God damn. Nick can't get on the fucking freeway. Man, Law got the freeway blocked off all the way on Polk, dog. The fuck they got going?
So what's he doing there at the time of the murder? He went to Instagram, where people believe he further self-snitched. So let's just check out his self-snitching.
I got in a fucking car wreck, bro. That's some light ass shit. Nigga, that shit you was talking about was in September, stupid. You should have said it in September. Should have said that shit in September. Fuck you wait all the way to motherfucking October and November. It's one of them days, bro. I don't remember that shit no more. That shit was old in the bitch when you talking about you don't tell nobody. Nigga, everybody knew that shit, nigga. Fucking nigga, you just like a bitch. I couldn't wait to tell. Yeah, I knew it. Payback, bitch. Internet a motherfucker. Everybody was laughing with him then. Y'all ain't laughing no more. See, I never cared about this shit. I still don't. I'm gonna have money with or without. Trust and believe, honey. Yeah. Pussy bitch. 2-100. Suck my dick, nigga. We ain't telling shit, nigga. I'm telling about a wild dumbass dickhead. I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't give a fuck about it.
Okay, I can really understand everything he's saying.
Yeah. My partner and them got killed. Shit, my nigga died May 15. Fat Chris died last year, nigga. I don't give a shit about none of that shit. You heard? Like I posted, nigga. The niggas I cared about died on my back, nigga. Rest in peace to the rest of my niggas, nigga. And everybody, oh, he killed the whole list. Man, my niggas was really in the street. This dumbass nigga had nothing to do with these deaths. But it is what it is. I don't give a fuck. I give it to whoever act like they want it. You act like you did it, that's your beef, nigga. That's your body, nigga. Keep it.
You got to get out there and do your live, and you do it in a way that you make everybody clearly understand exactly what it is you're talking about. So, in Yella Beezy, this is another clip from Instagram.
Man, new year, new blessings. You understand me? We made it through a hell of a year. You understand? Anybody that ain't for you, anybody that's going against you, anybody that's goddamn negative, you understand me, ain't bringing no positive vibe. In the words of Gucci, put that in the dirt. Damn! For sure, you did. Here we go take a toast.
Put that fella in the dirt. What does that mean? I think you know what that means. And that could be interpreted, and that's a statement that's coming into evidence. I guarantee you. Put that fella in the dirt. He didn't say fella, but you know what I mean.
Meanwhile, in Dallas, folks had been piecing things together way before the news of Yella Beezy's indictment broke. The whispers had been getting louder, and Beezy couldn't dodge the questions in interviews forever. He denied any involvement every time. But it wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. The nervous energy, the awkward shifts, the way he acted right after. Yeah, people were reading between the lines.
I did want to ask this is, you barely acknowledged it. You've barely ever had anything to say about it, but there was a lot of tension, at least on records or people talking online, between you and Mo3. Now that he's passed, how do you view all that?
During his No Jumper interview, he straight up told Adam the Fed that he didn't have any kind of beef with Mo3.
I ain't never been attention to nobody.
Right.
That was it.
Right.
I ain't never been no attention to nobody.
He continued by saying,
I'm serious. I don't have a problem with people.
Right.
He ain't had no problem.
Fans saw right through his lies, with one guy saying, the body language says different. Look at his legs, Rocky. While another guy posted, he checked his phone for no reason, just turned it on and off. That's anxiousness. He's definitely uncomfortable.
I've never been a fan of trying to read into body language and that kind of stuff. So that's not really self-snitching. That's just him making denials, which is fine. But they won't put that, the government won't use that. White was arrested in December 2000, and Beezy was arrested 5 years later. Police took 4 years after the arrest of the shooter, 4.5, 5 years, to arrest Beezy. Here's the thing. They're not going to arrest Beezy unless they have the goods on him, okay? And they're not going to have the goods on him unless somebody's cooperating. So those are snitch. Aid, advising, counseling, conspiring, or otherwise procuring somebody to commit a crime is just as guilty of the crime as the person committing it. So Beezy might as well have just pointed the trigger at him if, in fact, he's aiding and abetting. So these are his charges. He's arrested on capital murder. So this is the indictment. The grand jury of Dallas County, duly ordered is blah, 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 in the county of Dallas, state of Texas, did then and there intentionally, knowingly cause the death of Melvin Noble, an individual hereinafter called deceased, by employing Keyone White to murder the deceased for the remuneration and promise of remuneration, in other words, getting paid, United States currency from the defendant, and pursuant to said agreement, White did then and there intentionally, knowingly cause the death, blah, blah, blah. So he's looking at capital murder. And the difference between capital murder and first-degree murder charges are this. There's some other element, and there's probably a gang element that's involved here. So doing a murder for the benefit of a gang will warrant the death penalty, as opposed to just first-degree murder. I shot my wife because I knew she was having sex with my brother. And then I shot my brother. And then his whole family. Oh, wait, that would be capital murder. So some people have been reacting. This rapper is gunned down on the highway. It is the actual shooters that are getting out in a couple of years, too, so they definitely snitched to get out. I don't think they're getting out in a couple of years. I would be shocked. And generally speaking, if you're looking at capital murder and you cooperate, you're not getting freed. You're probably just getting the capital part taken off the table. Gotta stop watching too many movies, man. They're not getting out ever. The Fed's holding them on charges, and now soon that it's over, they're getting hit with murder charges from the state of Texas. Cops and detectives don't make plea deals. That's that comment is really true. Cops and detectives don't make plea deals. The prosecutors do, and they ain't giving trigger man's freedom ever. That is probably true. But what they might do is they might take the death penalty off the table if you cooperate. There needs to be some kind of transition program for rappers when they sign their deal. Too many ruin their lives and others because they can't let the streets go. That is so fucking true. Too many young black men are dying. They're dying it's like an epidemic. You know, I don't know if it's the number one cause of death for young black men. I would suspect it probably is. But the thing about it is nobody's covering this. You don't hear major media outlets talk about the crisis in the black community. You know what? Fuck that. It's our community. Black men are part of my community. You know, and I hate to see them being killed like this. A lot of them get more involved with the streets after they start rapping. That's not true, actually. I don't think they get more involved in the streets. I think they're involved in the streets anyway, and they can't fucking leave it because it is what it is. He was better off doing it himself? No. Literally would have had a chance of getting out in a few decades instead of being locked up for life. Who cares? So here's the bond hearing.
So Marquise Conway, the defendant, being present and involved in this conversation. The state's witness will testify to the amount of money that was to be paid for the murder. A state's witness will testify to the individuals responsible for the payment. That state's witness will also testify that Marquise Conway was...
So unless that's recorded, how are they getting that information? The state's witness, whoever was going to be paid, probably white.
Witness will testify to the individuals responsible for the payment. That state's witness will also testify that Marquise Conway was one of the individuals responsible for a portion of that payment. A state's witness will also testify to the individual who would receive this payment. The state's witness will testify that Keywan White was, in fact, the individual to receive this payment, who was originally indicted in State's Exhibit number 1, the probable cause, which is before this court.
So this goes on for about an hour. So we're not gonna watch the whole thing, but this gives you some flavor of what the evidence is against him. And I guarantee you, it's white that's probably the snitch. You know, whoever is getting paid. So here's Grandma appearing, you know, with her neatly coiffed hair, and let's see what she has to testify about.
And he has houses in other states, correct?
I'm not aware of that.
Are you aware of him paying and helping to support other individuals in the family and also extended family and friends?
I'm not into his business like that.
You agree with me that your grandson is substantially well off, correct?
He might used to be, but if he could make a $2 million bond, he'd be out.
Would you agree with me, though, that there's a difference between can, want to, and choosing not to?
I'm aware of all of those things, but I know he don't want to be in here, so I know if he could afford it, he'd be out.
Bond in a murder case is going to be usually really high, and it started out $2 million. Graham testified on his behalf and got it lowered to $750,000. Generally speaking, you need $75,000 or 10% for the bond. Cash. You don't get that back. That's like a premium on an insurance policy, which is exactly what it is. But then you need, for the balance of it, you need collateral, like a house or something, to put up for in case, you know, Beezy doesn't show up for court. If he doesn't show up for court, the court can revoke the bond. Now that whole $750,000 has to be paid into the court. Who pays that? The bondsman pays that into the court. But guess what? You're on the hook for that $750,000 then. So that's how a bond works. Even though he posted the $750,000, he was released, but he's on house arrest. And so let's just take a little bit more from the bond hearing. So we like to comment on some of the comments. So Loyal the Noun, these kids have never watched Goodfellas and paid attention. You took out the exact amount for the hit out of your own bank account the next day. You can't even make this shit up, which is true. I mean, how dumb is that? Now, a second person has been indicted on a murder charge in the death of Dallas rapper Mo3, according to Dallas County records. So that person is a guy by the name of Devin Brown, and he is the second person. He was the second person to be indicted on Noble's death, and he's being held in the Limestone County Jail. But there's not a whole lot going on with his case. Why? Guess what? The indictment and subsequent release from the Dallas Police Department Brown arrest warrant affidavit were the first public mention that he was alleged to be connected with Noble's slaying. Here's the thing. If he's cooperating, he ain't saying anything publicly, and neither is law enforcement. From prison, the shooter, Kewan White, gives an interview where he states it's over. Watch for a bit. So let's see what he has to say. Why would you do this?
Yeah, no, what happened?
Right, you gotta go. So now you gotta go all the way with the 3 situation now, right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
It's over with though. It's over with for sure though. But you know, it is what it is, man. It's life.
What you mean it's over with for you, or what you mean is like what you think you still coming home?
Oh, that's over with.
Oh, that's over with. So what made you give up?
It's just over with, man.
Right.
You know, sometimes you just gotta
It doesn't sound like somebody who's confident.
accept life for what it is.
Right.
This call is from a federal prison.
Peace with myself, bro. It is what it is, you know.
Right.
One thing about me, man, a nigga can't ever say I'm a fuck nigga or nothing, bro. You can call me gay if you want to. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but a nigga can never say I did no fuck shit to nobody. I always was loyal to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, it's what you get for being loyal to the game and to niggas. You know what I'm saying? I haven't did nothing, but it is what it is. So it's over with.
You don't get anything for being loyal at all. And then, you know, that's why the mob sort of fell apart, because people were realizing they're getting fucked by their superiors. And so they decided, well, fuck it. You know, I'm on the hook here. They're not. And I'm looking at a lifetime of prison, and they're not backing me up here. They're not doing anything to help me. So fuck it. And so fuck it. So that's what happens.
I'm ready to just go and get over and get my time in. And either shit. I just told my lawyer.
See how resigned he is to going away for the rest of his life? People bitch way more about doing 30 days than they do about 30 years. Because they know that something's, there's nothing they can do. I had a client that pled on a murder one. Well, they were threatening to indict a murder one, but it was all on video. It was, it was on a Ring door camera. And there wasn't shit I could do. And so we cut it short, and he said, I'll just do my time. And so he got 30 years with parole after 30 years. Not 30 you do 20. 30 you do 30, and parole then later.
Straight up, man. It is what it is. Just fight for me. Shit. I don't care. Just fight for me. Just show me that you going to put a fight up for me. That's all I care about.
Did you see the news? Yeah.
I've seen all that.
Right.
But see, y'all the one not seeing what's going on. It's. I haven't been to the county. That's all I gotta say.
I know you. I know you.
Why?
So that's him talking to reporters. So we're gonna jump just ahead a little bit. He talks about whether he or not he's snitching.
I've seen all that.
Right.
But see, y'all the one not seeing what's going on. It's. I haven't been to the county. That's all I gotta say.
I know you. I know you.
Why wait this long, bro? Why wait this long? I could have been home. On protected custody, reached by now from the government.
So he's saying, why wait till now to snitch, basically? I could have been home if I snitched. Bullshit. That's never going to happen. No amount of cooperation is going to put you back in your...
and everything, but you know how that shit go. I'm still here. I'm still going through hell.
You still here going through hell, so
I
that
don't got no family. I don't got no family. I don't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, I would have been there with. I don't got nobody. I got a little couple of family to make sure I'm good when they can, but I don't got nobody.
So you mean so you ain't so that mean you ain't telling then, right?
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. Like you ain't telling. That's what I'm saying. But we all know who's telling.
That's why I said it to you. That's why you gotta pay attention to how I'm talking to you. That's why I said in so many words. I got to go all the way to show everybody the real.
Right. You got to go all the way now to show everybody the motherfucking real. And like that's what I said in our last interview. Like everybody's gonna be fucking shocked. Because
truly I could give me something that, a nigga might can come on to. I can go probably try to get a 60 ball or something like that, just to get out their way. But,
right.
Man, fuck them. I'm going to go out of the way. I'm going to make them pay. You know what I'm saying?
So he adamantly denies that he's not telling. That's our latest on Yella Beezy. I mean, capital murder case. Capital murder. So that means he's looking at the death penalty. And it's probably gang related, and that's why the elevation is to the death penalty in Texas. So, we'll follow this and we'll give you updates as they come. But he ain't getting out anytime soon of this. My heart goes out to the families on both sides. When you see your son or daughter laying in the street, or you see your son or daughter in a jail cell, there's just it just sucks. It just absolutely sucks. So much is lost by these guys beefing. Just fucking stop it. Think about, when you turn around, think about what your mother, your auntie, or your sister would say about what you're doing. And if they would approve, go for it. If not, don't. Start building. Build. Build on your education, your financial future, your relationships, your work. Just build. And if you build a little tiny bit every day, and all pro-social shit, not gang shit, but you build a little bit every day. 5 years down the line, you're going to have a car that's all paid for. You're going to have a down payment for a house. You're going to have a degree that you earned, or whatever your deal is. You look back at it and you should, I stayed out of that and I built something here. Look at how I'm doing now. And then all of a sudden you make better decisions, because all of a sudden you built a little pyramid up. You don't want to knock your pyramid down just because you want to be in the streets. So stay the fuck out of the streets. It's not for you. It's not for me. It's not for anybody. Build yourself that ivory tower, and nobody can tear it down. So we'll see you next time here in Criminal Lawyer Reacts. This is your preacher, Bruce Rivers, your board-certified preacher, coming to you with my pearl handle pistol cufflinks. And we'll see you next time here in Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Sign up for Patreon. Go to clrbrucerivers.com. We've got some new merch there. And I think we're going to be putting some other stuff up of Michael's art, because we have probably over 4,000 photos that he's taken, and they're just amazing, honestly. And so we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. So go to CLR Bruce Rivers for your hats and hoodies and all your goodies. See you next time on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away.